Welcome everybody to CFES's 30 for 31 series. We took a page from ESPN and their 30 for 30 documentary series, and we're 31 years old, CFES, so we're doing 31 college tours around the country. And today, very excited to not only be at New Mexico State University, but also with Natan Arizate, who used to be a CFES CCR advisor at Van Horn High in Texas, not too far away from New Mexico State. But he was great when he worked for us there, and he's doing a great job now as a senior undergraduate admissions counselor at NMSU. And so he's going to take us on a tour and talk a little bit about what they have to offer there. I know recently him and I we stay in touch about athletic events. He played football in high school, and New Mexico State just pounded my UMass Minutemen. So I'm coming off that loss, but I'm gonna turn it over to Natan and let him talk about one of the. I had a chance to visit the campus. It's a stunning campus. They got a lot to offer there. So I'll turn it over to you, Natan.
Thank you, John. Like John said, proud CFES alumni, but now serving New Mexico State University in my capacity. So welcome everyone. I'm so happy to just introduce you guys to our university. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. John, is it good? Yeah, I think you're looking at my other screen. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I think you had it up. It had New Mexico State.
Is that better?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. All right. So we want to go ahead and again introducing myself. So my name is Natan Arizate. I work as a senior admissions advisor here at New Mexico State University. So helping students through the admissions pathway. So I know a lot of our students today might be looking at different pathways, whether that's a four-year university, a community college, or any kind of military, other trade school options. But at New Mexico State University, we are a land-grant institution, also specializing in research and teaching at all different levels. So what we want to do, I know you have a lot of different options in front of you as a student, is provide you the maximum opportunity at hands-on. So I know that the myth or the thing that we see on TV and is popular is that students have to go to a university, that they're just another number, where it's hard to get those opportunities. You have to kind of be competitive with other students, but we're a smaller Division I university. So for the most part, in all of our programs, we're giving a lot of a lot of opportunities for students to shadow professionals in their industry, things like that. So we're also a NASA space grant college. So in that, some really good opportunities through our engineering department. To be able to work with companies like SpaceX, Virgin Galactic, also Tesla, Exxon. We're only a couple miles outside of Spaceport America, so a lot of great companies launching rockets up into the air. I know that's a huge thing right now, a huge industry over with Elon Musk and different people like that. But through that NASA space grant, we're able to provide a really high job placement rate for those students that are going into the engineering field. And we'll talk some more here in a sec about that. But we're also an HSI and an MSI, so of course a Hispanic serving institution and a minority serving institution. And then apart from that, we're home to the very first honors college in the state of New Mexico. So offering top tier education even here in the Southwest. If you guys don't know a lot about our demographics, I know New Mexico isn't a crazy big state, or there's not a lot of different things happening here in our state. We are the second largest city in the state of New Mexico. Of course, compared to cities city spaces in Texas or in Arizona, our cities don't compare very much, but we do want to offer that authentic college town feel to students, to where they can grow, they can spread their wings, get a little bit further away from their parents' house maybe, but just be granted some great weather. We do have 300 plus days of sunshine. On our presentation, I don't know why our marketing team thought it would be a great idea to put 2 snow slides. So 2 pictures of snow here in Las Cruces. John probably knows we don't get a lot of snow out here. I know that you guys have snow up there at CFES, but ours melts away by lunchtime. So for the most part, some pretty good activities happening outdoors, adventures, fun festivals on campus, and then just a chance for students to see what it's really like to be a New Mexican here. It's a totally different culture. And like I said, some really good assets with that. And then we do represent areas from across the US. So different parts. Our recruiting primarily starts, of course, in the surrounding states like New Mexico, like Texas, Arizona, Colorado, but also we do some really great efforts in California as well, up in the north, in Washington, in those areas as well. We get some great students coming out from there. But apart from that, 89 foreign countries approximately as well. So it's not rare for a student to have a classmate from India, or maybe no faculty and staff here on campus that represents different areas of China, of Mexico as well. So we're really proud of that feature. And then we do represent about 300 plus student clubs and organizations. So of course, through our essential skills, we know that it's so important to get involved in your campus space, to find opportunities to just, get connected to a group of friends, find things that just motivate you to finish your program. So we'll talk some more about those clubs here in a sec, and why they're important. And then apart from that, we're also a military and veteran friendly university. So preparing students to go on to be officers through an ROTC pathway. In the military, we do have Air Force here on campus and also Army. We do sit on about 900 acres. I know that sounds like a lot, but the best thing is that for the most part in your specific major, everything's kind of really close to you. Also, you're pretty close to a lot of areas to get food, to get snacks, to just hang out. And the important thing is that even though we're a smaller Division I university, sometimes when you go to a smaller school, you kind of lose some certain assets in that. But here in New Mexico State, we want to offer you that really full D1 university experience. We do serve about 15,000 students here on campus, on our main campus, about 27,000 in the different locations around the state of New Mexico. So we also have some other system community college schools. If students are looking to do more 2-year programs or trade programs, we do have those through what's called Doña Ana Community College. And then we were also founded in 1888. So I believe that our state was established in the US in about 1915, 1912, around there. I might be wrong, probably really bad as a New Mexican to not know that, but in that range. So it's really good to know that our institution has been established even before the state was a state. So you'll notice that right off the bat in our history, but also our culture and our buildings as well. We do have a 27 average class size. So I know that's another thing as well. It's a very daunting step to want to take that next step towards college or university. But we want to make it as less scary as we can here at New Mexico State, to where your college classroom size is pretty similar to your high school size, to where you can ask questions, feel comfortable with your professor. And then lastly, we're the Aggies. So we'll talk some more about that nickname here in a sec. And then also ranked as a top 2 university by US News and World Report. Some other stats, of course, we were rated again as one of America's top colleges by Forbes list. Hopefully a lot of us know about Forbes list. And then number 2 in the country for research and social mobility. So the best thing that you can find here at NMSU is the success that follows you even after your undergraduate degree option. So really good stuff. And then a lot of flexibility for our students here on campus. So like I said, a smaller Division I university, but housing a lot of different options for our students. A lot of unique programs, but pretty specific to other colleges as well, and pretty similar in our business programs, but also our arts and sciences programs. We have 5 academic colleges. So I know it's really weird for a university to have separate, smaller colleges, but these colleges are what houses our specific majors and degree programs, and where you would find yourself as a student if you come to NMSU for your undergraduate journey. And then lastly, we have our Conroy Honors College. About that here in a sec, but we do want to break it down. I think that it would be a good opportunity to just give you a chance to see more or less, or give you a sneak peek at what different programs we have here at NMSU. So starting off with our College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences. So of course, one of our founding colleges, hence the name the Aggies. We did start out as an agricultural and a mechanical engineering school. So we do want to specialize in those 2 specific programs, and they're, for the most part, the programs that are kind of leading the way here in our institution. So in this college, we have programs like animal science, horticulture, HRTM, human nutrition and dietetic science degrees. So some of the ones that I want to highlight today, talking a little bit about hands-on applications. So I want to highlight animal science first off. We do have different pre-professional programs. So I know that students are looking to become vets, doctors, lawyers. They need multiple degrees. So we do want to provide a starting point for students going on towards that pathway. So we do have a pre-professional program and pre-vet for pre-med students, and also for pre-law as well, and pre-dental. So for pre-vet, we start students off in animal science. Of course, you can get a starting point at any university around the US, but why I think you would find a lot of value here at NMSU is because we're one of the last universities to still have animals on campus. So if you head towards the end of campus, we have pens with cows, horses, sheep, goats. And they're not just there for show. Our classroom spaces are actually right across the street from that. So you're actually receiving that hands-on application very nearby. We have some cows walking with cannulas or windows in their stomach, so where students can reach their hand in the digestive system of a cow, feel around, really crazy stuff. And different programs like that allow students to get that hands-on application. And then apart from that, a lot of hands-on application happening in our hotel, restaurant, and tourism management program, so HRTM. In that we have a student-led restaurant on campus. So if students are looking to get culinary experience in a bigger sense, we have that restaurant there for students to practice that in that space. Also, apart from that, we partner with the Marriott Hotel next door to our campus and different industries all around the world to give students that hospitality piece. So if you're looking to maybe, wondering what it's like to work in a Disney resort, any kind of hotel chain industry, even overseas as well. I know my sister-in-law graduated with that program, got some good opportunities in DC, in Las Vegas. So a lot of good opportunities and rewarding career experiences after graduation. And we do rank number 6 in the country for that program. So we're doing really well on that again. And then our College of Arts and Sciences. So students are looking for a good starting point here at NMSU. I would definitely recommend this. This is NMSU's largest college. So it does house our most popular major, which is undecided. Just kidding, John. I'm just kidding. That was a joke, but we do have some good opportunities for students that are still undecided. If they're looking for, to dip their toes in different areas, we do have exploratory courses where they can check out different majors, see more or less where they would find themselves in the future. We always try and stress students to start backwards. So start from where they want to end up and then come and see all the different programs that they can probably graduate with. Specifically, we have criminal justice, computer science, cybersecurity, biology, digital filmmaking, music, and psychology. So some really rewarding majors that I want to highlight are criminal justice. So we do partner with different law enforcement agencies to give shadowing opportunities. We have the FBI here in El Paso, but also in Albuquerque as well, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Also some really good programs, cybersecurity, digital filmmaking, really popular in the recent years. New Mexico has been a growing hub of the film industry with Netflix out in Albuquerque, but also apart from that, as well, a lot of films filmed out here in Albuquerque and in Las Cruces as well. Some of them, I think The Mule by Clint Eastwood, and also that scene in Transformers where they're fighting in the sand was filmed out in White Sands National Monument. So a lot of good opportunities for students to shadow those professionals. And yeah, that's the College of Arts and Sciences. And then we move on to the College of Business. So in the College of Business, very traditional programs, so accounting, finance, information systems, but also some pretty special ones to NMSU, like international business. Last year, students in that program, they got to not only see how business is done over in Mexico, but they got to work specifically with a company called Bimbo. And it's actually a bread company. I don't know if they have their dessert cakes out there in the north. But some really, really good dessert cakes and bread products. So students got to work directly with that company to see how they're doing in their market. And then PJ Golf Management. So we're one of 20 schools to offer that specific program. For those students that are pretty good at golf, you do have to have a pretty good golf scores to get admitted into that program. But it's a good opportunity to just spend your days on the course, see how business is done on that side, maintain and manage your own professional golf course. I would imagine a lot of connections to a lot of big wigs in that industry. So really good opportunity for students. And then we do rank top 15% in the world. Some fun facts. Some of our notable alumni, I forgot to mention that one of our notable alumni is Albie Ray Smith, the co-creator of Pixar. He graduated with his undergrad at NMSU. Apart from that, another notable alumni is Kevin Johnson, the former CEO of Starbucks. And no, we're not sponsored by Starbucks. I really wish we were. That would be an awesome feature to promote. But he still gives back to our university through scholarships, but also through different mentoring sessions, things like that. And then next we move on to our College of HES, so our College of Health Education and Social Transformation. So in this, all of our teaching majors, elementary, secondary, and special education. So we do specialize in that. We are a national leader in allowing students to work in that classroom space very early on. We are in a prime location to work with not only the New Mexico population of students, but also the Texas as well in the El Paso districts. So I think students really benefit from that. And some other programs, of course, like dance, kinesiology, nursing, social work, and sociology. So some really popular ones, I believe in the whole nation, of course, are kinesiology and nursing. Kinesiology is really important here on campus because we are a smaller Division I university. So a lot of those students are working directly with our sports teams on the court, on the field as athletic trainers, as physical therapists. So they really get a good avenue and a lot of hands-on in that field. And then nursing, we have state-of-the-art facilities here on campus. So my favorite thing is that we have a nursing sim lab. So a real-life hospital space designed to allow students to work in that environment early on. And then also they get to work with life-size mannequins or dummies that simulate heart attacks, even simulate giving birth as well. So I got my music degree, so I'm kind of queasy at the sight of blood, but really beneficial for those students to receive that hands-on piece. And then our College of Engineering, so another one of our founding colleges, we do have aerospace, chemical, civil, electrical, mechanical, and engineering technology. So the first majors that you see there before engineering technology are having to do more with the design aspects of engineering, but engineering technology having to do more with if students are interested in the build aspects of that. So building the boosters for a rocket, for example, on a bigger scale, doing more welding, doing more hands-on work. We do rank top 10% of all U.S. institutions, so we do take a lot of pride in leading the nation in those different fields. And like I said, a 90% job placement rate for those students that are going into that industry, so really rewarding. And then our honors college doesn't house any specific majors. What we do offer students is a chance to be inducted into our Crimson Scholars Program. So for example, if you're in the engineering college, if you're in the College of Arts and Sciences, you can still be part of this program. Some of the perks is you're eligible for honors classes. So for example, you can take some classes more specific on the Civil War if you're a history major. We also have some really fun honors classes, like a wine and beer making class. Of course, you've got to be over 21, so you might have to wait a little bit for that one, but it's really rewarding for our students. Also a class to make gelato, to learn how to make that, but also a history of chocolate making class. So really all around classes. Apart from that, you get to register for classes early. So of course, a lot of our college students and alumni do know that, registering for college is a really hectic process, can be really crazy if you do procrastinate and wait till the last minute. But these students get first dibs at those classes. If they're not morning people, then I would definitely recommend this perk. Library privileges, so you get to check out one more library book. How exciting, right? And then apart from that, you get recognition at commencement. So we do want to honor you as an honor student during graduation. And then you have access to our living and learning communities for our honor student. And we'll talk about that here in a sec. The admissions requirements that we have on our application. So we do have a big December 1st deadline. So we're kind of nearing that deadline pretty soon. Doesn't mean that the application goes anywhere, but it does mean that the application is no longer free after December 1st. And then apart from that, we have some pretty good scholarship resources for those students that apply before December 1st. So what we're looking for in the admissions application to admit students is a 2.75 GPA. Or an ACT score of a 21 or an SAT score of a 1060. Or also you can be ranked in the top 20% of your graduating class as well to be admitted into NMSU. We're not asking for all 3 or 2 of the requirements. We're only asking for one of them. And then of course we are test optional. So students don't have to report those test scores if they don't want to, or they don't have them. Another admissions pathway that we have is the Aggie Pathway Program. So in that, we're allowing students to start off at a community college location here in New Mexico that's connected to our branch. If a student's maybe thinking about college, but not really sure, or maybe they're not hitting that specific GPA point, we allow them to start at one of those branches and then eventually transfer over after those 2 years or after they earn that associate's degree. So a pretty good opportunity to still be an Aggie and still have that admissions pathway. And then we do have another requirement here on campus. So we do require students to live on campus for the first year. This is not to bum out students or to add another cost to their expenses, but we do want to give them that full college experience down to a T. We do want to kind of invest in the community that we formed here at New Mexico State. But apart from that, there is research that we follow that tells us that students tend to be more successful. They graduate on time as well. So we do want to buy into that research. Two different resources that we have on the housing application are, of course, those living and learning communities. What we do through that is we pair students up with a roommate or a suite mate that has the same major or taking similar classes, so that they can have that initial connection upon coming to NMSU. And then we also do offer inclusive housing, which allows students to reside in the same room or suite as individuals who may be of another gender or do not identify along the gender binary as well. So two separate resources that you can opt into in that application. And then 4 different options. So I would love to give you guys all the tour, but I'll try my best to paint the best picture that I can of the inside. Really excite you about what we have to offer here at NMSU. So starting off in the left-hand corner, we have Garcia Hall. So Garcia Hall is split up into 4 separate patio spaces. So you actually open up your door, your dorm into the outdoor space in New Mexico. You have awesome patio spaces, pool picnic tables as well. In the main lobby space of Garcia, it does have our main mailing center, but apart from that, some really great pool table options, ping pong tables. So if you are looking to start making friends right off the bat, I definitely recommend Garcia. It is the largest residential hall that we have. And then also this year as well, maybe this, it's just me getting excited about this, but we got a brand new ramen machine. So a vending machine that's touch screen that allows students to get hot and ready noodles as a snack, as a dinner option. So a really cool feature. It's been sold out for weeks. I don't know if you guys wanted to know, but I haven't even had a chance to try it. So I don't know if it's good or that means it's bad, but I definitely invite you guys to just check it out. And then next door, we have Pinon Hall. Pinon Hall still offers those outdoor spaces. It's going to be 2 grassy spaces. So in that, you'll find students playing volleyball, playing soccer in those outdoor spaces. This year, it's one of the only residential halls to offer a gym for our first-year undergraduate students. So you don't even have to go very far for a quick pump or some cardio. And then apart from that, some really great lounge areas, kitchen spaces. My favorite thing is that it does offer vaulted ceilings in your dorm. So it makes you feel a little bit more bougie, a little bit more space for students that enjoy to be, introverted or do like their downtime between classes. And then we have Rhodes Garrett Hamill, which is a historic site to the state of New Mexico. So we can't really alter any of the outside, but the inside has been recently renovated. We redid the walls, also the floors as well as of last year. I think I talked a little bit about that when we did this tour last year. But the lounge spaces are really great. It's one of the most unique touches that students can have in their first year experience at Rhodes Garrett Hamill. In RGH, students get more of a Hogwarts kind of Game of Thronesy vibe. With winding staircases going up to the second floor, also really big fireplace spaces as well. And it's a really good touch if students enjoy that historical aspect of RGH. And then Juniper Hall is our most modern option. So it's more hotel driven, so where you do have to walk through specific hallways to get to your dorm. So if you enjoy feel like you live in a Marriott for your day-to-day in your undergrad, then definitely recommend it. Modern kitchen spaces, also modern lounge areas as well. So if you enjoy all of the new, I would definitely recommend that you check it out. So those are our residential halls. And then we also do have meal plans as well. So what would be a college experience without the food, right? Of course, the freshman 15 is a real thing, I promise you. You will encounter it. If you don't know what that is, then ask your counselor, ask your teacher, or ask John if you want. But we have 3 separate plans for students. So in those plans, you'll receive pretty similar things. So the first number is you'll receive some meal swipes or entries to our main Taos dining cafeteria area. I know I say cafeteria, but don't freak out on me, guys. I don't know if you guys like cafeteria food or you have bad or good cafeteria food in your high school. But at New Mexico State University, we have all the solid options, buffet style. So we have pizza, burgers, fries, some really good courses. And then apart from that, rotating entree options. So of course, like a typical cafeteria, we do serve different items here and there. We do pretty good about different allergies, gluten, nut allergies, things like that. Some pretty good dessert options. Again, that freshman 15 is a real thing. And then also we give students Aggie dining dollars. So those dining dollars basically work like a debit card on your student ID. You can redeem that at places here on campus like Chick-fil-A, Panda Express. We have 2 separate food courts. We have a Subway here on campus, and I'm just talking off the top of my head. We have 2 separate Starbucks locations as well, of course, because Kevin Johnson, right? And then 3 premium plus packages in that first plan. So we give you different perks. So in that first plan, you receive all 3 of the packages on the right-hand side. So you receive a beverage package, which gives you different coffee options. Also an amenities package, so different things like robot deliveries. And yes, apart from ramen machines, we also do have robots on campus. I don't know how many other campuses have TV bots, but they're cute little boxes that roll around taking Chick-fil-A coffees to students. They wink at you and they have hard eyes when you stand in front of them, and it's really crazy. They're taking over campus, but a really good asset to have. And then a concessions package as well, apart from the robots, that gives you different perks for sporting events. And then Classic Crimson, although it offers you a little bit less meals, a little bit less Aggie dining dollars, you can be more customizable as far as which plan you choose in the basic plus packages. So if you don't want coffee, you can definitely just opt into the amenities for those robot deliveries. So it's a pretty good resource. And then Hometown Aggies is for our Doña Ana County residents. So for local county students. So that could be a plan for potential students that are coming out of the Las Cruces surrounding area. And then we do want to make that accessible to students, of course. One of the great resources that we have is our FAFSA, or free application for federal student aid. We have some pretty good awards for students through grants, money you don't have to pay back. Also work study opportunities, so you can work here on campus, from scanning concert tickets at our at Pan American Center, which is our sport where we have basketball games, graduation ceremonies, things like that. Also some really great concerts, events, monster jams, comedians come down to do those different things. So preparing for special events, also working in the library, we're giving student tours, things like that. And then apart from that, we also, or what's offered through that is loans as well, which is money that you do have to pay back through the FAFSA. It does open up October 1st, so a pretty good resource. And then we also do have top scholarship options. So the reason why I say top is they're a little bit more competitive, to where students do have to go through a selection process, but it does cover more of your tuition and fees. So I do invite students to check these out. President's Associate is for New Mexico residents only. That one is asking for a 3.75 and a 28 ACT, or whatever the SAT would be, or a 3.5 and a 30 ACT, or again, we would translate that score to that SAT score to an ACT score. It does cover your tuition and fees for the 4 years. Also gives you an additional award, and then covers 1 year of your housing scholarship. And then Conroy Honor Scholarship is for in-state and out-of-state students. So a pretty good opportunity. That one is asking for 3.9 GPA. And I believe the academic index is basically your GPA plus your SAT or ACT combined, putting you in a certain rank. So you would have to be at least on 159 in that index to be offered that scholarship. It does cover your 4 years as well for your undergraduate degree. And then also covers, gives you an additional $2,000 award to study abroad. So if it's on your bucket list to travel, you can definitely do that through that scholarship. That one is found on our honors page. You'll see the eligibility, the application, things like that. And then we do have some more accessible scholarships through our academic institutional scholarships. So when a student applies, like I said, we do have a big December 1st deadline to invite students to apply for these scholarships. So you don't have to apply individually for each scholarship that you see on the board. The best thing is that when you apply and you have your GPA to match these scholarships, you will be offered these automatically into your account. So you don't have to apply for each one. Once you apply before December 1st and are admitted, you should be awarded one of these scholarships if you meet eligibility. And it goes down the ladder. So have the honors offering 4,000 down to 2,000 for 1888. And the best thing is you can renew it for the next coming year. So it's not just a freshman scholarship. And the also another good thing is that the renewal process is not as high of a GPA. So you don't have to keep a 3.9 GPA at NMSU. It does go down a little bit to make it more manageable. And then out-of-state discounts as well. So I know we have a lot of out-of-state friends. They're thinking that New Mexico is such a far away, right? How am I going to pay for that out-of-state tuition price? Well, we do have some pretty good discounts for your specific area or select areas in the US. If not, I can tell you about another resource here that we have. But for students that are coming from the El Paso, West Texas area, we have what's called the 135-mile radius discount. So taking off at least 17,000 off of their out-of-state tuition. So a pretty good chunk of change. that we're taking off of out-of-state tuition to bring them down pretty close to in-state tuition. Colorado, Arizona, they're receiving an $18,000 discount for students that are in that residency. The school that we have for students that are from Mexico with Mexican citizenship, taking off $14,000. And then for Western states in the US, we have, of course, I believe a lot of universities have that specific movie discount, which takes off $14,000 off of their out-of-state. And if you're not receiving a specific discount in your area, I do invite you guys to check out the out-of-state competitive, which it doesn't transfer automatically, but if you have the GPA and the ACT or SAT to match this discount, like a 3.5 GPA and a 23 ACT, or a 3.0 GPA and a 26 ACT, you can get that full out-of-state discount that brings you down to in-state tuition. And we'll see here in just a sec how that goes down. But I do want to talk as well about another scholarship resource. So where other schools would maybe have 5 or 6 applications to fill out for scholarships, NMSU only has this one big one. So this is mostly our general scholarship application. So we do have a huge network of scholarships connected to different majors, to different student types, to profiles as well. So it's one application that opens up on October 1st. You do have to be admitted. So again, we do invite you guys to apply, even if you're just thinking, right? If you just want to get more options as far as what's next after graduation, options are really good. I definitely recommend it. And it's non-binding, right? You can check us out, see which scholarships we can offer you, and still check out different universities and institutions. But I guarantee you'll probably see some value here at NMSU. It does open up October 1st, same as the FAFSA. And every single year we invite students to apply for this scholarship. So it's a pretty good resource. And then the cost breakdown. So we have pretty quickly just showing our in-state tuition for New Mexico residents, $8,400 per year. And then out of state is of course $26,000 per year. But the good thing is that we have specific discounts to lower that tuition price. Out of state competitive would be the same amount as Colorado, Arizona. So it does lower you down to in-state tuition. And then the big 3 costs that you can be looking to spend here at NMSU, but also at different universities. Even if you're not looking at NMSU specifically, it would be good information just for you to gather for different institutions. Would be, of course, your residence hall, your meal plan, and your books and supplies. So big costs that you can be looking at besides your cost of attendance or tuition. And then other campus resources. So moving on from prices, we do want you guys to succeed here at NMSU. So some of those resources are, of course, a writing center, a math success center, and a student success center through tutoring help. We just launched a brand new initiative called the Aggie Launchpad. 2 years ago, we were giving students free iPads automatically as incoming students. And then this last year, we gave students free laptops. So their choice between Dell or MacBooks. I believe that this next year, we're looking to relaunch that initiative. So a pretty good resource that's led through our student success department. And then writing centers, of course, helping students through essays, math success center, helping students through tutoring help. Please don't come the day before, you'll probably fail your exam. I learned that the hard way. And then apart from that, we have an Aggie Health and Wellness Center that helps students through pharmaceutical help, also counseling help as well. So we do have that here on campus. And then we do also have our military and veterans program. Also education abroad and national student exchange. If you're looking to travel overseas, take courses in Italy and Spain, also select universities here in the US through the national student exchange. The best thing is you don't pay their tuition, you actually just stay in NMSU tuition. And then we have diversity programs like American Indian programs, Black programs, Chicano programs, and LGBT plus programs as well. So we're a pretty diverse campus. For the athletes, we do have an activity center here on campus that's totally free. We have a weight room, a rock climbing wall that's pretty impressive. Also basketball courts as well, an aquatic center that does have 2 separate pools. They're both heated year round. Of course, we have one of the most beautiful golf courses here in the state. If you're not much of a golfer, they do put on a pretty good Taco Tuesday. So if you want a meal on a budget, you'll definitely find me there on a Tuesday. And then again, we do have those student clubs and organizations. So looking to help you guys get connected very early on through different opportunities for students that are doing the same things as you guys through hobbies, through pastimes as well. We do have a fraternity, sororities through Greek life, also ASNMSU, which is our student government body here on campus, sports groups, also some really fun ones like our esports club for students that enjoy competitive gaming. I believe this last year, we were actually started giving full ride scholarships to students that compete in that competitive gaming. So really crazy world we live in now, John, to where students are getting full rights to play games competitively. And then all the different events that we have here on campus are in our Crimson Connections page. So you'll see that little branding bar there. But if you're interested in seeing what we have around campus, specifically like esports, like our anime clubs, definitely check us out to see all the events that we're having all year round. And then our traditions, of course, our colors are crimson and white. We do have a mountain here in Las Cruces painted with A for Aggies on it. So we do have those really small town university vibes here. We resend students to repaint that A every single year during homecoming week. Some really good traditions, of course, are Crimson Fridays. Most of our campus tries to wear crimson on Friday, and then first year walks as well, where students walk through the original gates of NMSU, all the way up Pan American Center to the top of campus, to hear a word from our president, to get played in by the New Mexico State Pride Band. And then we do have Aggie athletic teams as well. As a D1 university, we do compete in the Western Athletic Conference. We do have baseball, basketball for men, football, tennis as well, but also women's teams as well. All these different opportunities are free to you guys, using your student ID as a student there on campus. So you don't have to buy any tickets or memberships. So really good opportunity to get invested in our campus. And then we do have family outreach programs as well. So we have what's called the Campus ESP platform, to where students or families can get connected through newsletters, volunteering opportunities, special events, things like that, to where parents and families and support members can just stay in the know what's going on for your student. And then I'll leave you guys with the next steps. I know I've been talking a lot, but if you haven't applied to an MSU and you're remotely just thinking about it, definitely apply. We can start to walk you through the process. You'll be connected to somebody like me. Maybe today you might think like, hey, Nathan's a pretty cool guy. I want to apply to NMSU. I want to get walked through this process, or just how it's as a resource to be able to help you and just congratulate you on your specific success story, on your brilliant pathway, and just walk you through that pathway. Next, after admission, you would create your My NMSU account, apply for scholarships. Like I said, start to see the value here at NMSU. And then, yes, that is my face. I am an admissions advisor here on campus. So if you have any questions as far as navigating the college system, send me an email. If you're looking to just get connected to see how you can visit our campus, feel free to text me. I'm not a robot, so I'll text you guys back, I promise. Also my office number. My NMSU Instagram, guys, is not very impressive. I have like one post, so I'm not much of an Instagrammer, but I do invite students to send me questions through there as well. Give me a follow. If you follow me, I'm probably doing something right here at NMSU. But yeah, that's a little bit about New Mexico State University.
That's awesome. You really created a great picture. We always have our students, we tell them to sort of think about where they would see themselves there, you know, and I'm just like, even myself, I'm thinking if I could do it again, I'd probably be a HRTM major and live at that Marriott hotel and have a robot bring me coffee and work out maybe, you know. I mean, it sounds like it's got everything anybody would want. You know, I think it's interesting yourself coming from Van Horn. I remember when we visited the campus, I felt like, yeah, it's big in terms of acreage, but I felt like pretty comfortable there. I feel like somebody from a smaller town like yourself, you could talk a little bit about that, how it is pretty welcoming and it doesn't feel overwhelming despite, you know, there's 15,000 students.
For sure, yeah, John. And the best thing too is we do want to kind of give students that full small town, college town environment, to where they're being invested, like I said, to something that they're not just another number. Our campus is a little tucked away to make a little oasis away from the main city space. And of course, Las Cruces is not a very big city to start with, right? So for the most part, most of the cities invested in our university. You'll see Pistol Pete all over the place in Las Cruces. So it does provide that good environment for students.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking forward to bringing some students from Van Horn, San Elizario. We have 2 new schools in Corpus Christi to bring them over. And I think that you did a great, the cost piece, you know, as you know, it's always, you know, it's often the first question. Parents are very concerned, higher ed getting up there. But I mean, the number of scholarships and opportunities you all have is great. Like even the El Paso piece is really interesting. not far away at all, right? So a student could get a experience where they feel like they're away from home, but they get a pretty significant tuition break there, I'm noticing.
It's different, yeah, and for the most part, like I said, we're not too much of a driving distance to where we give students a different environment from the city of El Paso. To where even if, you know, they want to go home for a weekend, right, they definitely can. And just come back to a place that's a little home away from home.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you, when you think back on your own experience, you know, there was an adjustment period, and I know you went to various colleges, but any advice for students that are just about to go to college, you know, obviously first time, maybe first gen, just to help them, you know, it's tough for anybody to make that transition. Any advice you have for them in terms of how to make it easier and make friends, a smoother transition?
I would definitely just say find an anchor, whether that's an admissions advisor or a staff member or somebody in the department that you want to go into, a teacher, just get connected somewhere. Send an email, you know, most of the time it's hard to just ask for help when it's there. Send that call for help to be able to just help you navigate the whole system, right? So I'm able to talk to a lot of students that are coming from Mexico, that are first gen students, that are Hispanic, to be able to give them my experience, right? So a lot of us are just yearning to be transparent to you guys. So like I said, you know, even if you're not thinking about NMSU, I would just love it to just hear, get an email from you guys just asking, hey, these are my two college options. You know, what do you recommend? Where do you think I should go as a first gen student or somebody that's still navigating everything? Or just even to congratulate you or just to mentor you in this process. But apart from that, also set your feet on solid ground, right? So I know that college and just selecting a college can feel like a dream, right? You have the world in front of you and a lot of different options, but a lot of times students commit to different universities without visiting. And it's kind of like a mind-blowing thing, right? You're in another world, right? And right now as a senior in high school, you can be thinking like, you know, just taking a bite out of the apple, which is the world, right? And we do congratulate students and invite them to just make the most of their opportunities. But of course, visit campus, you know, even if it's just a couple minutes away from your hometown, just see what you like, what you dislike to start selecting those different universities, I think would be my best advice.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's great advice. I mean, in fact, San Elizario sent about 50 students to visit Manny, my colleague Manny Tejeda, who, you know, we were in Austin, and they came and visited UT. And it was, you know, for some of the students, it was pretty overwhelming because it's, you know, it's in the city, it's packed in. And then we went to Texas State University after, and you could see some of the students much prefer that. It just felt a little easier. It was, you know, a little more out in the country. So like you said, it's just you can't tell till you're on the campus, but there's just this undescribable vibe that you're like, wow, this is where I see myself.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely. I think your campus has such a unique vibe that I think a lot of students are just. It feels comfortable. I think to a lot of people because it's La Cruces is big enough, and then the campus is big enough, but it feels kind of like home more. It's not. It doesn't feel overwhelming.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, you know, we're a very friendly, warm campus, not only in what we have to live off of as far as food and where you live, but also our faculty and staff members. We're used to smaller classroom sizes and smaller populations. So for the most part, we're pretty, you know, we know that, you know, you're looking for that hometown kind of feel to where you can come in, you know, talk to us comfortably and just meet with us one-on-one, whether that's FAFSA, whether that's here in admissions, whether that's just your department head or your teacher or professor. You'll find we're a lot more understanding, a lot more, you know, comfortable.
Yeah, nah, that's important. That's coming up on 45 minutes. It's probably a great place to leave it. But I'll you know, we'll show this to our students across the country, the recorded version, and have them reach out to you. I know we appreciate you, not just you want students to go where the best fit is for them, whether it be NMSU or not. Obviously, you'd rather it be there, but we appreciate you responding to them and just helping them through the process, and for taking the time today. That was an awesome tour. Really appreciate your help. Wish you were still with CFES, but we appreciate you helping us where you're at. You're doing great work.
Yes, sir, John. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It was really exciting to just do this and just get to reach out. Again, we just want to invite students to just form that pathway wherever it might be and just be successful in their respect.
Well, we appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you down that way in the next month or two.
Yes, sir, for sure.
All right. Appreciate it. Take care.
See you, John.